I thought I knew everything about my husband, until I found a second phone in his gym bag, and with it, a second life he'd been living without me. I found a second phone, and a second life I knew nothing about. It was an ordinary Sunday morning, the kind that carries a comforting stillness. The kettle whistled gently in the kitchen, and I was folding laundry in our bedroom while Saad, my husband of 6 years, was taking a long shower. We had been married long enough for the silence to feel normal, comfortable, even. Or so I thought. As I reached for his gym bag to toss it into the closet, I noticed it wasn't fully zipped. A small corner of something metallic caught my eye. Thinking it was a misplaced charger or watch, I opened it without much thought. But what I found wasn't just out of place. It was out of our life entirely. It was a second phone, an older model, plain, unlocked. That alone was suspicious, but I told myself maybe it was work-related. Maybe he was holding onto it for a friend. But the moment I turned it on and saw the wallpaper, a photo of him and another woman in a hotel room mirror, both smiling like they'd never known a lie, my stomach dropped. Her name was Zoya. The heart emoji beside it felt like a slap. I opened their messages. They dated back months. Conversations filled with affection, jokes I'd never heard before, and words he hadn't said to me in years. You're my escape. Wish I could wake up next to you every day. I scrolled through dozens of photos, beach selfies, candlelit dinners, playful moments in bed. Each one unraveled the version of my marriage I had carefully held together. The water shut off in the bathroom. My heart slammed in my chest. I quickly locked the phone, slid it back where I found it, and zipped the bag up like I had just buried a body. That night, he made spaghetti for dinner. We watched a show. He laughed, kissed my forehead, and told me I was beautiful. And I smiled, a perfect, hollow smile. For 2 weeks, I lived in that quiet hell. I watched him from across the room as he texted her, claiming to be swamped with work. I watched him turn down date nights with me to get ahead on projects. I watched a man I once trusted wholeheartedly, and I realized he wasn't mine anymore. Maybe he never was. But I needed more than rage. I needed a plan. I took photos of the phone. I documented the texts. I made a copy of every single message, location pin, and call log. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I wanted clarity. Because when people cheat, they rewrite history. I needed proof that I hadn't imagined the cracks. Then, one Thursday night, I placed the second phone on our dining table after dinner. He walked in and froze mid-step. His face drained. I didn't yell. I just asked, "Who is she?" He opened his mouth. Closed it. Then crumbled. He told me it had started at a conference. She listened to him, he said. Made him feel seen. As though my years of loyalty, sacrifices, and support had been invisible. I didn't want to hurt you, he said, tears in his eyes. But you did, I replied. We slept in silence that night. No words. No touch. The next morning, I packed a suitcase. I didn't wait for more explanations. I went to my sister's, where I cried harder than I ever had. Not just for what he did, but for the version of myself I had lost in that marriage. He texted. Called. Even showed up once. But I was done. I chose peace over chaos. In the months that followed, I rebuilt. Therapy, quiet walks, coffee alone at cafes. I rediscovered who I was without him. And surprisingly, I liked her. The version of me who didn't ignore red flags. The woman who chose herself. I used to think betrayal was the worst thing that could happen in a marriage. Now I know, staying silent in the face of it is even worse.